My name is Matt Greminger, and I am the founder and president of iNDAMP. Throughout my life, I've been involved in various industries. My first ever business was a little recording studio in my parents' basement, and I started that when I was 12. So you can imagine that kind of grew from there, and since that point, I've pretty much been self-employed. And I had a studio back in the era where people didn't just have that. It was a very few, select few people that had a recording studio in their basement, and then when I turned it commercial, it wasn't like there were a million recording studios. You had to have these massive mixing boards, and you had to know how to patch, lines in together. And now it's not the same. Now, which is good. I mean, it wasn't good for my business. I went on to other business ventures, but before, when you used to have these massive mixing consoles and boards and plugins now are a thing where you can get a plugin and it's just a piece of software that that goes into your system. Before, you used to have a reverb box, okay? Preamps weren't built into the mixer, so you had to have a separate preamp and amplification for the microphone or whatever you're inputting. And so, I had that back when you needed all of that. And then as the industry shifted, we got to the point where for a couple $1,000s, you can go out and get a decent microphone. You can get Pro Tools. You can get an M-Box and create your own studio. And it was an amazing thing for the creative community. These are folks that maybe didn't have the ability to go to a fancy recording studio, but still had it up here, and they still had the drive to make something a success. And so they would be able to go out and learn how to use the new equipment that technology shifts. They were able to learn with the shift, and it was a powerful thing. It was a changing moment for the recording industry in general. As the shift sort of started to happen, I realized that there was less money to be made in commercial recording. While the music industry was doing just fine, and if anything, it was growing, there was less money to be made in recording commercially. And so I sold that business, got into photo and video production, did that for a while. And over the past decade, I've gotten to dip my toes into different industries related to the arts and entertainment. I mean, we're talking broadcasting, video production, editing, and I get into work with models and actors and consult in some cases on very large projects that ended up as movies or as large productions. I've gotten the opportunity to be a part of so many different industries, but the common thread within them all was arts, media, and entertainment. So I had to take a step back and realize that when I go to conferences for all of these separate industry things, you're talking about a photo conference, a video conference, an actors conference, a modeling conference, technology conference. These are all these individual groups of people, and you hear the same things. You hear, hey, do you know a good insert line here? If you're at a photo conference, for example, do you know any good modeling agencies? Do you know any good marketers? Do you know any good web developers? Things like that. And so what I realized was yet to exist was a platform that allowed folks in these different industries that support one another to come together within the platform and make everyone's lives easier, taking out the need to know someone who knows someone. This is a platform that allows people to contact supporting industry specialists that they need for their project directly. And it allows, and vice versa. I mean, you're talking about you are working on a massive production and you need models, you need sound guys, you need lighting guys. This is a place that you can find all of those things. And as a specialist in one of those fields, you have the visibility and the exposure with an online profile that has incredibly rich SEO content. SEO is, obviously search engine optimization, so that when these folks, even if they don't know of iNDAMP yet, they're on Google, they're on Bing, they're on Yahoo, and they're searching for lighting professionals in, Louisville, Kentucky, or sound engineers in Manhattan, New York, or models or talent agents in Chicago, Illinois. They're able to find these things from a Google search because of the rich SEO content of these profiles. And as a member, the profiles can have as much or as little information as you like. They can have pictures, and you can offer deals to people who find you through the iNDAMP platform. You can have links. All of your social media can be displayed with the little icons, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and all that. You can just pop your information in there, and it's easily accessible by all these people, so that when you want to reach someone, if you're trying to find someone even, you can land on their profile, see recommendations from other people who have left recommendations on their profile that have worked with them before. If you want to see their social media, you click on the button that has social media, and it allows you to do all of that. So it's really a great platform, not only for networking, but also for building synergy between the industries in ways that have never been done before. And that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Some of the other benefits offered by iNDAMP to its members, and we're talking tangible, benefits like employer type benefits. These are things that artists can't typically get, because if you think about it, if you work at a restaurant, if you work at a bank, if you work, for a factory, those employers have benefits that they give to their employees. And we've partnered with one of the same benefits providers that, 5 out of the top 10 Fortune 500 companies in the U.S. at least uses this benefits provider to give their employees benefits. And so we partnered with them. And they saw the need for something like this in the creative community, because these are people who don't get employer benefits because they are their own employer. These are self-employed people who don't have access to group rate insurance plans. They don't have access to discounts on certain products and services when they need them, that their colleagues, their associates, their friends who are employed that work a 9-to-5, they have these benefits. But we feel that the creative individuals that, these are people that work incredibly hard doing something they love, yes, but it's not always easy. And they work very hard at it, countless hours each day to perfect their craft. And in exchange, we as a society get to experience the art of their craft. We get to go out and have a great time and listen to a band, go out, have a great time, go and see a movie, which is the result of all of these creative individuals and all of these creative industries coming together. If you see a movie, you're talking sound people, lighting people, you're talking actors, directors, producers, editors. These are people who 9 times out of 10 are self-employed. They don't have employer benefits. And yet they're making our lives better. They're bringing joy into our lives. With iNDAMP, we're showing that those people deserve as much appreciation, and they deserve as much respect and as much dignity as those who are involved in industries where they have to have an employer. One of my favorite and the most incredible features of iNDAMP is the Industry Gear Shop. And this is a platform that's available within the iNDAMP site that allows consumers, whether they're iNDAMP members or not, to buy industry gear direct from manufacturer, supplier, wholesaler. And by doing this, you're saving so much money. It's ridiculous how much cheaper these things are. Because when you buy them, even if they're on sale and you buy them from a big box store or chain, like Walmart, Best Buy, even Amazon. These are large companies that have an incredible amount of capital stashed away to buy inventory. And so what they do is they buy a massive amount. So if they're selling tablets of a certain kind, they'll have 500 or 5,000 even sometimes that they'll buy at one time and store them in their different warehouses, their different stores, their different facilities around the country, so that they can offer it at a marked up price to their consumers. You're paying a little bit more for convenience of being able to go out and get it, or with Amazon being able to get it in 2 days. But they took all the risk. They bought, 3,000 of this product all up front. So what the industry gear shop does is it links the consumer direct with either the manufacturer, the supplier, or the wholesaler, where you're getting things so much cheaper. You are able to leverage the buying power of the entire iNDAMP platform, because we are directing people direct to the manufacturer, so they're not losing as much as they would be if they sold direct to consumer by themselves. We're directing our folks there. If something's in the store for $100, let's say, you might find that same exact product in the industry gear shop for $50 or $40, sometimes even less, because we're getting it straight from the manufacturer. So when you place an order, that order's going directly to the manufacturer, the supplier, the wholesaler, and that's who's shipping it directly to you. You're cutting out the middleman. You're cutting out the big box chains and going straight for the lowest price possible. And this is why I'm so excited about the industry gear shop, because it's a massive resource for the industry. So when you become a member of iNDAMP, naturally you get the things you get after joining any type of group or association or platform. You get a certificate that you can, put in a file cabinet, or you can frame it. I mean, it's a good looking certificate. You get a site badge. Obviously, this is something that a lot of platforms offer as well, where you can use basically the iNDAMP logo on your site. But what ours has is it has your membership number on there. So you have your unique ID that you can put on your site and say, to show that you're a proud member of iNDAMP. What it does is it builds credibility. And if you have the ability to, if you set it up on your website, to put a link to iNDAMP, or a link to even your iNDAMP profile, that when folks are on your site and they click that badge, it goes to your iNDAMP profile. And what that does, and you have the ability to either do that or not do that. But by doing that, what it does is it creates what's called a backlink, which builds credibility on your site as well as iNDAMP, because you're combining two sites together and building that relationship. It shows up higher in search engine rankings. We've got social media groups that for every industry that are, very heavy structured, that have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of members in some cases, that are great networking tools. We have access to those within the iNDAMP platform. Another incredible benefit is the free copyright registrations. And yes, they are free. There's a cap. There's, each member is afforded 5 free copyright registrations every year, and then there's it's only $10 though. If you use up your 5, it's $10 for any additional copyright registrations within that year. And so you're talking about a massive savings. It's extremely affordable. And with that, you get your registration certificate when you file your work with iNDAMP, but you also get legal support, which very few registration firms offer. Let's say you registered a song and you see that somebody's using your song on YouTube without your permission. We have a legal support team that will back you up. We will contact you. Just let us know. There's a way for you to do that within the member dashboard, where you can let us know, hey, here's a link. These folks are using my data, my song, without my permission, and we will have the legal support team go after that person. Go after, let's say it's on YouTube, they will reach out to the DMCA specialist for YouTube and hit them with a demand letter, cease and desist, and let them know this needs to be removed because it's copyrighted content. It's registered with iNDAMP. Here's the registration number. Here's the person Here's the claimant. Here's the registrant. Here is the date that it was registered, and it does not belong to that person at all. Remove it. And so we go above and beyond and do that, and it's all included. It doesn't cost anything additional to iNDAMP members to get those legal support services that help you as an artist to kind of take some of the everyday struggle out of it for you. It's one more thing you don't have to worry about as an artist. Because of the strength in numbers that we have with iNDAMP and our backers and our supporters and, of course, our members, we have the ability to partner with global brands, retailers, in many cases, that we can then work together with to offer these massive giveaways. So, I mean, sometimes these giveaways are, valued at $2,000, $3,000. Other times they're as much as $20,000. And it's the result of these incredible partnerships, these big global brands that putting their faith in our industries and saying, you know what, we appreciate that they're constantly using us to buy their, recording studio gear, for example. We're talking about that specifically because that's one that we have. It's a $20,000 giveaway that we're doing. It's a recording studio remodel that we're doing. So let's use that as an example. We appreciate as a global brand that so many folks in the recording studio and recording industries use our stores around the world or use our website, that we are going to partner with iNDAMP and offer a massive giveaway. So one lucky member will get a $20,000 recording studio remodel. That is the power of an association, a group, a platform. And when you have a platform that covers such a wide and broad number of industries that all have that common thread running through them, digital arts, media, entertainment, this is when things become a more level playing field for everyone.